Coming up, the travelers dive into history, discover a thriving business on Two Rivers, and visit local markets. This is Transformative Travels, Exploring Kentucky. Funding for this program brought to you in part by
Plated Up provides recipes to put a new twist on Kentucky Proud foods. Plated Up Kentucky Proud is a partnership project between the Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service, the Kentucky Department of Agriculture, and the UK Department of Dietetics and Human Nutrition.
Whether you are a commercial-scale farmer, a backyard gardener, an avid outdoor person, or anything in between, our aim is to help you grow your food, understand the food system, and protect the environment. It starts with us. University of Kentucky's Department of Retailing and Tourism Management, which offers undergraduate and graduate degrees, both face-to-face and online options, in the fields of hospitality, management and tourism, and merchandising, apparel, and textiles.
Kendall pays a visit to each cottage as 3 long days on the road are starting to make the early mornings difficult for the travelers. It's time to go on an exploration of the Great River Road National Scenic Byway.
No, I slept longer than Arizona.
It was at least
I had a nice sleep.
It's day 4. We just arrived at Wycliffe Mounds State Historic Site. We're going to spend a little time here touring the museum. I hear they've got some games that'll be fun to play. We'll see what happens there. After we leave here, we're going to the Two Rivers Fisheries, and that's an amazing story of a new entrepreneurial business that was started by somebody who's really meeting a need. We'll tour there, get on the bus, and drive down to Columbus Belmont State Park and learn about that place and the history there. And then we're going to go over to the small town of Clinton, Kentucky, and do some shopping. We're still on the hunt for some food for our cooking challenge. That's happening tomorrow. The word I wanted the students to think about today is community. We're spending the whole day traveling along parts of the Great River Road, and that's a road that runs from north to south in the U.S. along the Mississippi River. So I'm hoping that we hear stories of the people and the places and what it's like to live along the Mississippi River. Carla, thanks for having us. Our first stop here, Wycliffe Mounds State Historic Site. I'm going to let you tell us what this place is all about.
I am so happy and thrilled to see you all today. You know, Wycliffe Mounds is an archaeological site. It's Native Americans of the Mississippian culture. They lived up here on this bluff overlooking the Mississippi River from 1100 to 1350 A.D. They built their earthen mounds and houses all around a central plaza. We are standing on what was their central plaza 900 years ago. So please ask questions and we'll talk and we'll learn more about not only the Mississippi and Native Americans here, but our overall visitors and what we have to do here at Wycliffe Mounds State Historic Site and Kentucky State Park.
Do you know why they left the area?
That's one of the major mysteries, the many mysteries of the mounds, as I call it. We don't know exactly why these Mississippian societies and these people deserted these, abandoned these villages. Now further south in Louisiana and Mississippi, you still have Mississippian societies well into the 1700s. But around here, they're abandoned. And we don't know yet why, but it has something to do probably with both an environmental shift, some kind of societal collapse, and that's something that researchers are still working on to this day. Well, shall we take a look at this excavated mound? We'll go inside the museum here, and then if you have any questions about anything, just let me know. This was a mound, a long, low mound, as long as this building, and it was excavated in 1934 by Fane King and the University of Chicago field school students. And everything that was found was left in place, and so the building was built over the top of the excavated features to protect it from the weather. This was where they lived. This is the part of the village where their houses were located.
We've been walking around the Wycliffe Mounds, and I'm completely geeking. I learned tons about the Mississippian mound builder culture in my archaeology class, so it's super cool to me to kind of be able to visualize what this looked like, all these stories I learned. So I think it's just a really great way to synthesize some of the stuff that I've been through. So I'm so excited to be just kind of looking at all this stuff.
Chunky, we saw the artifacts, right? The chunky stones over there. And so to play this game, we're not going to actually get out a 1,000-year-old discoidal, right? But we're going to use a lawnmower wheel. It's the same principle. Okie dokie? Okay. And the spears, they would have had those projectile points, but because these are done with students and school children, we don't do that. These are just replicas, right? It gives you the same idea. The point of this game is to throw the spear while the ball is rolling, the wheel is rolling. You want to throw it to where you think the wheel is going to land, okay?
So I'm about to spear throw, and I'm gonna be good at it because it's in my blood.
All right, get set, and go.
Oh, you almost hit it! Oh my God! Kate is a freaking beast.
Can I say I'm a natural? I have weak arms and I can't aim worth crap, so that's what I've learned today. But if I can do it again, we'll try harder.
Oh, the swimming's wearing me out.
Dr. Jason is so excited he beat a bunch of college students at throwing a spear.
So we are out here playing Asian sports, and they are just trying to kill each other.
Rachel just whacked me in the head with the spear and now I'm dead, so.
At least I'm not sad. Guess we're having Hannah for dinner.
We learned about some of the challenges previous societies endured along the Mississippi River. The next stop will enlighten us about one of the critical ecological issues community members currently face.
So we are on the bus, but we're at the fishery right now. Are you guys excited?
No.
My last interaction with gutting fish was when I accidentally sat in a puddle of fish guts, which wasn't fun, and I had to throw away those pants. So let's see how today goes.
To see if Hannah has to throw away her pants.
The answer is probably yes.
Why does it stink in the?
This is just the front door. We haven't even gone inside yet. So this is Angie. She's the woman who's responsible for the fisheries. And I'm going to let her tell her story.
Okay, my name is Angie Yu, and I was born and grown up in China, but I came to the States in 1991. I stayed in LA for all these years before I came to Kentucky. So now my English is Chinglish, right? Chinese English.
Perfect. It's perfect.
Okay. And my business is import and export for all these years. So that's why I come to this Asian carp business, because in China, we eat Asian carp for 1,000 years. You know, here, it's considered a problem. Why I stationed here? Because we have 2 rivers here, and also we have 2 big lakes here. So that's why I'm here.
What impact does the Asian carp have on the rivers and the waterways here in the area, since it's an invasive species?
Yeah, it's a big problem. So I know now it's a big problem at the lakes because they're jumping, the sports fishing.
So the recreational fishing, the sports fishermen,
yes, they hate them.
These fish are jumping out of the water, and it's causing problems for the recreation fishing.
This is one reason. Another reason is the Asian carp is grow and they grow fast, and every year they have 3 times spawns, so too many, and they eat the food, and the local species are dying.
We are considered the model for all the other Asian carp processing plants that's coming online. We didn't realize it at the time, but we set a mark that we didn't, a bar that we didn't know. We just wanted to do things right. Our customers love us. We do an excellent job with the fish as far as, the key point is fresh. Get the fish in, get them processed, and get them frozen right then. That's the key to anything. Next year I've already forecasted that we need 8 million pounds. Within 3 years, I'm going to be needing 20 million pounds a year.
Wendy's in her element right now. What did you just say?
I saw so many Chinese in here. I'm feeling it.
She's got the
and
vibe
it smells
going.
delicious in here.
Now it's time for a tour of the processing plant. A hands-on, deep dive into what it takes to get the fish from the boat to the market. This tour is not for the squeamish.
I have never actually gutted a fish before, and I'm doing it.
You see that a lot in fish.
This is Hannah's fish smell face, and that is Wendy's fish smell face.
So is it one of your favorite
Always cut away from yourself, okay? No matter what.
I don't like what I see. I don't like what I smell. I don't like what I hear. Oh my God. Get me out of here right now.
Wendy's gonna touch it. They're touching it.
I've seen my dad cut fish before, but I've never actually thought about doing it because I thought I'd vomit. But it was kind of fun, which is disturbing.
100% fish.
As unappetizing as a hands-on tour of a fish processing plant may sound, even the skeptical ones enjoy sampling the finished product before loading up and heading to our next destination. It is good. I wish I had more.
Okay.
The travelers check out the museum to get oriented to the history and community associated with our next location. So we've arrived at Columbus Belmont State Park. This is Cindy Lynch. She's in charge here, right?
Yes.
The park manager. She's going to tell us what we're going to see and do here.
This is a Civil War site. Columbus Belmont has several aspects to it. Long before the Civil War, it was a campsite for the Trail of Tears. Then the next period of importance, of course, is the Civil War. So the Confederates were here for about 6 months. Whenever they abandoned Columbus, then the Union came in, and they were here for another 6 years, that long after the war. The anchor and chain was put here to stop northern boats from going south. The anchor was buried on this side. The chain was floated across the river on wooden rafts, and then it was tied up in some trees on the Belmont side. It worked for a little while, but its own weight made it sink, so it didn't get a lot of use. It was good in theory, but it didn't really pan out.
prettiest view of the Mississippi you'll ever get.
Let's go. Wow, look at that.
It is so gorgeous. It is like the perfect temperature. It's beautiful out here, and it's just really weird to think that a bunch of people died like here or around here. Like these mounds were made by people to protect themselves, and it's a weird juxtaposition of just beautiful natural scenery and knowing that a lot of devastation happened, and that's, I don't know, really important to remember, I think, so we don't ever go back there again.
We're in day 4, and I'm thrilled. It's just everything I've seen and experienced, it's been really amazing for me. Because I've been in US for a year and a half or even more than that. I've never had a chance to really go deep and travel with someone to see what US is really like. And for me, all these girls are just amazing. And I'm having a lot of fun with them. I feel like everyone's journey will just keep on going, but the memory of this journey will always stay in here.
We're here in Hickman County and we're about to check out the Hickman County's Farmers Market. So I'm super excited, one of my favorite things to do.
Haley talks with Hickman County Family and Consumer Sciences Extension Agent about the community benefits of the farmers market.
So what role does a farmers market play in this community?
Well, our farmers market just opened in July of last year. We started construction early on, and the role it plays in our community is it gives the opportunity for our local farmers and producers to sell here in Hickman County, so they're not having to drive further to another market or roadside stand. So it decreases the amount of travel, which in turn saves them, but it also gives us access to local fruits and vegetables and plants, even here in the county.
What would you say like your goal for this personally would be to see?
Well, the community aspect, so that people in our community would buy local and that they would support local businesses, that this could be a community place where people gather, but also to increase the health aspect and give the growers a place to sell that's here in our own town. It makes it more special when the strawberries, are grown in your soil.
So I live for farmers markets. I have a job with the Lexington one back home, but this one is really cute and really just, well set up. The food is really nice.
There's so many sweet strawberries. They're so sweet, so good.
Meeting a local small town supermarket person, Greg, I assume.
Our final stop of the day is Greg's Supermarket, an important local business for community members along the Great River Road. We're going to support Greg's by buying some provisions and the last ingredients we need for the Plated Up Kentucky Proud Cooking Challenge.
Well, Greg's Supermarket has been here in Clinton for 25 years. And I also own 2 other stores along the river counties in Carlisle County, and I own another store in Ballard County. I buy from a co-op based out of Kansas City, Missouri. They have a warehouse in Memphis would be where I pull my product and stuff from. And like I said, I could offer anything here that a larger store could offer, a Walmart or something like that, pretty much anything. Plus, we know our customers. I think that makes a big difference to, check customers out, to carry groceries out to the car. We still offer those type of services that you don't see in a larger area anymore, so.
So what do you think needs to happen to see more places like yours and local support for communities?
The local support's very important because like I was asked what would happen if this store wasn't here. I think it would be a hardship for a lot of people in this community. I was saying there's a lot of elderly people live in this community, and it is a lot easier for them to shop here. So we like having them come. That's for
great.
sure.
How would you say that you support the community other than providing groceries?
Well, I do a lot of work with the churches and schools. Yes.
Awesome.
So, we plus I hire a lot of students. I'm very dependent on high school. I hire a lot of high school age students. A lot of them work for me from the time they're 16 till they graduate college.
Hannah's got roped into pushing local children on the swing.
the end of another full day gives us the chance to gather around and talk about our exploration. So day 4, we survived another one.
Woo!
We had a great time exploring the Great River Road in Kentucky, learning about the people and the places along the way. How was today different than the other days we've had so far?
It was more about like learning about the area and less like activities. So we learned about the process of fisheries and Civil War areas and archaeology and all that good stuff.
So for those of you who are from a larger town, you grew up or you moved away from your hometown that's maybe a bigger city than some of the places we went to today, do you think you would be able to live in a small town after observing some of the things that you saw in the communities today?
No. I truly don't think I could.
Like once in a while, going to a smaller town is actually a good thing.
It's like a nice little
it's a nice vacation.
Because then it makes me, like, kind of humbles me. Like, I kind of, like, feel like material things aren't as important, you know? Like, for me, I have, like, a business on every corner of the street. Like, here you have to drive, like 30 miles to your nearest Walmart. It makes me think, like, that stuff's not important. Like, I need to, like, find my own source of fun and entertainment and, like, just be more in tune with myself rather than the world around me.
Did any of you, throughout the course of this week, have you started to think about what you're studying in a different way, or maybe the profession that you want to get into? Have you learned some about that and maybe identified different opportunities for the future?
I'm at a family and consumer sciences agent, and my major is family sciences, and so I wanted to teach family sciences, and I always knew that being an agent was a profession I could choose, even just with a bachelor's degree in some places. And so I was talking to this lady, and she was telling me how she was teaching like others about parenting, food, cooking, just all kinds of just typical home ec things, and that's what I want to do. But I thought I had to become like a professor or a high school teacher, or something around those lines to do that. I'm really interested in that, and I'm gonna look it up more when I get back. So, yep.
I think this week has taught me that although I do want to be in sustainability, I also want to be on the road. And I think that that works with this trip. I think that this trip has like really reinforced that, because I realized that like it was possible that I could be like outreach, I could be going to different counties, I could be doing anything with that, and I could still be in my field, which is really cool.
Through these travels, how are you extending your community? And I don't mean your home community, and I don't mean just traveling with each other, but are you feeling tied and connected to the places that we've gone to?
My favorite part of this trip is the sense of being a local when you're not even from the place. And that's what I want to take back to Lexington, because I thought like if we can go in with that intention of like being grounded where we are, that's when the most benefit comes from your actions, when you really like invest in the place you are. And so that's my goal, because I find myself thinking about where am I going to be next? What's the next move? Which country am I going to be in? And all this. But just while you're in a place, if you can just like slow down, like take it in and really invest.
Other thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that we've gone to a place that's not welcomed us in with open arms, and at least, if not all of us, like a few of us that form Connect, getting offers to, hey, come back for this or that. Like, I mean, day one, we got offered, like, hey, come back to the cave, do the full cave tour. We get offered to come back for like the bigger farmers markets or the Civil War reenactments that go on, or like the big archaeological days. So I just think it's really great, kind of knowing that you kind of have a second home here, as weird as that sounds.
And I think that's like a very important aspect of tourism, like working in that field, because it's important to like make the tourists feel like they're local even though they're not, and make them feel welcome, because they'll want to come back and then tell other people, and then they'll come, and then it's very good for your business for one. But yeah, I think that's a very important aspect that everybody who works in the tourism world should have, like that mindset.
Has this travel experience given you some ideas on how to build community within your school environment? So maybe you live in the dorm or apartment wherever you live back when you're in the semesters. How do you think you might try to build community there in your home environment at school?
I think that UK is a huge campus. I mean, it's 30-something thousand students, and you can't make Lexington small. I think that what we need to bring back as students, we can't bring back such an open mind that we can change UK and make it smaller, but more so that we can make ourselves join something new, become a part of a smaller community inside UK, find your best friends, and just go from there.
I think another thing, just like the traveling aspect in general, seeing that where all these people are from, and even the people in our own group, like you never know how close somebody could be to you, like if you ask them where they're from. So doing that, or sharing like your traveling experiences, maybe they've been to where you're from, or you've experienced the same type of thing. So even going up to somebody in class and asking like where they're from, that could spark a conversation and spark a relationship or a friendship with that person.
I think one thing that I'm really gonna take is everyone here seems to like help each other out, and it's just all the small communities has really just shown like, I don't know, it's like seems like I've become more callous at times at being in college. No, like just like not now, but like everything's just a hustle and bustle. I'm busy, I'm running to work, I'm running late to class, I have 6 papers I haven't done. Like it just seems like I'm just very focused on myself, and getting out here and traveling and just taking a moment to like slow down and like listen. It's like everyone has a story, and like everyone is part of this community, and we all have something in common. We're all in Lexington, we're all these students, and it's just, it seems like our differences always seem to spark out more than like our similarities. So I think I'm really just gonna try and like keeping that open mind, and like keeping my like phone out of my pocket and like my headphones out of my ears when I'm walking, and like noticing and listening. And if like I seem to like see someone that's struggling, like not passing by, like, you know, it could be like the helping hand that you need at the time, and just like trying to keep more like an open communication, and just really trying to like see a need in the community, and instead of just like complaining about it and like complaining about X, Y, and Z, like doing something about it and like helping the people that are hurting, and just kind of being more in tune to that.
Next time, the travelers take in Paducah's Hotel Metropolitan and Lower Town Art District, and Masterpiece Madness, or both, an outrageously fun toy museum. Join the adventure on the next Transformative Travels Exploring Kentucky. Funding for this program brought to you in part by
University of Kentucky's Department of Retailing and Tourism Management, which offers undergraduate and graduate degrees, both face-to-face and online options, in the fields of hospitality, management and tourism, and merchandising, apparel, and textiles. The Bowling Green Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, with planes and trains, cars and guitars, caves and waves, rails and trails, thrills and chills. Bowling Green is geared for fun. We seek to prepare highly motivated and culturally adapted graduates who are competitive in the global economy by finding opportunities and providing resources for international study, research, and professional work. It starts with us.